Hello and welcome to a Morathi level up guide. We are going to get started with looking at her trait, which is Dark Manipulator. On turn, lords in this character's region have a chance to gain 2 loyalty in local region. Useful because Dark Elves have the loyalty mechanic, and I never really had a problem with loyalty mechanics, but it's an annoying thing slightly. If you don't know what you're doing. Cooldown -5 turns for sacrifice to Hecate, and slave costs -50% for sacrifice to Hecate. What that sacrifice is, it is this one, which it gives you plus 50% experience for sorceress and supreme sorceress, plus 30 wins of magic, all armies, plus 200 experience for sorceress and supreme sorceress per turn, and hero action success plus 40% for sorcerers. So basically a major boon for sorcerers.
Hag Sorceress of Grod.
Now looking at the traits, now I will say there is like a 6 turn guide that Legend of Total War recently placed out. He has he's basically stated that you shouldn't first level shouldn't go route marcher, you should do Malakos mystifying miasma, which makes sense in the way he put it, and is a good point where I will bring up for these guides that I'm doing. I'm giving you guys all a general sense of like what you should probably be going for, especially at the higher difficulties. But that does not defeat the point of if you come in, on the higher difficulties, you have to come in with a plan, straight up. You guys have to have a plan coming in. So for the first 3 turns, you gotta know what you're doing on some of these starts, especially on a Morathi start, since she has one of the harder starts. And so maybe it is appropriate to not go for Route Marcher for maybe a couple ranks and going for the Magic Tree. Or it could be like 1 point there, then do Route Marcher. The point is that these are just general ideas of how to level the character, not actually step by step of like how do you actually level Morathi as the cult of pleasure. It is more, hey, I've recruited Morathi. What should I be grabbing? Morathi. And this is what I'm doing. It's just giving you guys a general sense of like what you should be grabbing. You guys can deviate because like if you go Route Marcher, I say do Dread Slaver, and then one of these points I say go Infamous Raider. You may want Server Die. Or you might want Public Order +1. You may not even want Dread Slave 3 points and place something else, maybe Infamous Raider 3 points. That's fine. That's your choice. I'm just saying getting more slaves is generally the way to go, I would say, as Dark Elves, since you want a lot of slaves. Because slaves just increase your money. So
Speak.
that's just my that's just a little TLDR for when people take a look at this. Anyways, Route Marcher, Dread Slaves, Infamous Raider, Draft Master, Blank Strike. Same MO is gonna be for all Dark Elves basically. Just constantly doing that. But I would say Melikov for Magic, Melikov Mystifying Miasma, throw one into Power of Darkness. Now, I don't know which one you would want, because personally, Doom and Darkness isn't that big of a deal, because it's just leadership, while Soul Blight might be used a little more, because that minus armor piercing, and base weapon damage can help out a little bit. But you also want to get life leeching. So in this tree first, you probably want to grab life leeching because that is going to be the most important thing. Because the only real damage spell you have here is miasma. Power of Darkness is just there to get us to the next point. Silk Light is the only useful spell I see in this spot. Grab Evasion, Pit of Shades, and I will say Spiteful Conjuration and Soul Stealer, and then get Greater Arcane Conduit. But why don't you get Smoke and Mirrors? Smoke and Mirrors only affects you if you're casting, and plus 10% speed. I barely even notice it, the increase in speed. So, I say don't bother. Now, definitely at this point, if you went for Greater Arcane Conduit and Lightning Strike, you will have this tree open. I'll suggest going for this tree as soon as possible because it is the most useful. Grab Winds of Magic Reserves. You can grab a secondary Winds of Magic Reserves, but I suggest you doing the first Sorceress, as you will unlock recruitment of Sorceress everywhere. So you can have real early game
Corruption of the vilest
being able to
soul.
recruit Sorceress without even being tier 3. And you can recruit them anywhere. So that's why I'm saying, like,
Mother of the
this is good. This is good. Then grab Magic Reserves and then Blessed by Evil, because that cooldown reduction and also minus Winds of Magic for all of your spells basically you can get are really good. Grab for Force. Grab that word missile resistance because that's helpful. Now, here's the debatable part. A big debatable part. We have Tenacious and Insidious. Now, it is up to you which one you want to do, because for Tenacious you get capture casualties plus 50%, income increase for all characters and all armies. We get unit experience per turn, which isn't a big deal. Ward save 5% for all units, that's good. Casualty replenishment plus 10%. Lord's army, that's good. Diplomatic relations with Northscope and Beastmen, not really necessary. Magical item drop chance plus 10% for all characters, plus 1 corruption for all all regions you have, and plus minus 30% upkeep for Lord's army, minus 50% attrition from your army. Not really. I mean, these are useful things, but upkeep reduction isn't really needed because you should be making bank. Now, for Insidious, which is my personal way, I would say to go because you will get plus 2 rank for K9 Assassins. Hero action success chance goes plus 5%. Assassinate gets another 5% increase. You get a 5% campaign movement range for all characters faction wide. So if you have that with Front Marcher, you get 15%. Or even if you don't have it at rank 1, guess what? You get plus 5 instantly. Favorite assets gives you melee attack for Lords and Shades, which you're going to be using Shades. And you get plus 10 melee defense and plus 5 melee defense for Lords and Shades. This is good. This is good. This is fairly good. You shouldn't have your Shades in melee, though, because they're a range unit, but if they get into melee, they just become better. And Shroud of Despair. Plus 5 your public order of a local province, minus 10 leadership for enemies, and you gain plus 5 of your faction's favor to corruption when in your own region. Now, this, I say, is more useful because the minus 10 leadership is constant, rather than this is only for, what is it, 36 seconds? Yeah, 36 seconds. This stays, that doesn't. And honestly, I would rather go with this tree because all of these are pretty damn good. Now for the red tree. Touch, Inspiring Presence, Shaftmaster, Raid Leader, Rally, Call on Unworthy, and Rapture rewards. Now you have 1 point left. You can do it in Earthing, or you can throw this into Smoke and Mirrors. Me personally, I probably would do Smoke and Mirrors. You just want to get to Greater Arcane Conduit, and you have so much more stuff that you want before even caring about Smoke and Mirrors. So that's why Smoke and Mirrors is the last point in there. Well, why don't you go the melee tree with her? Well, the first part doesn't matter. The interesting stuff is in the second part, but they're not really that good. This -10 melee attack and charge bonus around an enemy is good, but not really useful too much. And also the 1001 Dark Blessings is only for her for physical resistance, magical resistance. You can get the same thing when you get Ward Save. And Deadly Onslaught is Deadly Onslaught. It doesn't. The only thing I will say you're allowed to deviate on is maybe doing Insidious, doing Tenacious. Because they're both good, I just prefer... This goes to my playstyle more, because I'm going to fill her army with Shades. And having -10 leadership just helps me out. Having that extra campaign movement helps me out. Having Canaanite Assassins higher rank helps me out. So yeah, that is Morathi's level up guide. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys learned something on how to level up your lords. I hope this video will help you in the future of you going to the higher difficulties. This has been me, Kelsey Drake, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.